Hey lovers, how are you? It is the Stories from the 78. I'm Tom Barnes, and I'm here with Dr. Tara. How are you, Doc?
Excellent. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing well. You know, we're moving ahead through the winter months, and then we get to Valentine's Day. And this could either be something that people are really stressed about or really happy about, kind of depending where you are in your relationship, right?
You're so right. Yes, there can be a lot of uncertainty during this time, but also a lot of romance.
Absolutely. And you know a lot about it. You are a part of Luvbites. That's your thing. It's your platform, your channel where you do TikTok, you got podcasts, the whole thing. So explain a little bit about that so people know that I'm not just feeding them some line from like my buddy down the street. So you are a professional. So go for it.
Yes. So actually, my full-time job is I'm a tenured professor at Cal State University Fullerton. I teach classes on sex and relationship. So I founded Luvbites to give the mass proper and mindful sex and relationship advice. And it just became a big platform on social media.
Yeah, I bet. I think that's the one thing that will never, ever go out of style is people needing that kind of relationship, right? Like it's just something that people are shy to talk about. And, you know, which is odd because you want to be awesome at it, right? You want to be awesome at you have like these love tips that you talk about with affirmation, physical touch, acts of service, quality time, and even gifting. And people are good at it. Some of them are terrible at it, and some are really good at it, you know? So, if you wouldn't mind, go through those things and maybe why it's so hard for people to really do this, especially with, I mean, that's a lot of pressure with Valentine's Day, but this should really be throughout the year, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Learning about your own love languages and your partner's love languages is one of the most effective things you can do for your relationship, or even if you're dating someone in an early stages, or even if you've been married for 10 years, it's never too late to learn. In terms of why some of us are so bad at this. And, I was as well before I learned all of these, relationship research and
Really?
theories. Exactly. Yeah, I had my fair share of failed dating in my 20s. I think a lot of us have. And I think it's because we have never ever received proper education and information about how to be in a relationship effectively.
Yeah, I almost
And
feel like that should be something that is taught in school almost, you
it's the
know, just
most important thing in the world.
right.
I
Communication.
feel I feel like we should be learning about that before like chemistry.
Absolutely. Because you just said it. In order to have good relationships, you need to have chemistry. Zing.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So the five love languages are affirmation. This is the first one. And it's if your love language is affirmation, you really love getting compliments, words of encouragement, supportive words, people saying, I love you every day. So this is affirmation love language. The second one is physical touch. This is where you love cuddling, holding hands, hugging. You just love touching each other, skin on skin, and it makes you feel loved, warm, and cozy. The third one is acts of service. This is where you feel loved when someone offers to do something for you. Quality time is when you love spending uninterrupted high quality time with your partner, and that's like your priority. The last one is gifts. This is when you feel loved when someone gives you something thoughtful. So it's nothing's
It's
right
not
or
buying
wrong.
your love, right?
It's not the same. It's
Right, right.
about
Yeah, I just want
like
to make sure that's not what you're saying. Like, not because that's not good either, buying love, but like
no.
showing your love almost, you know, like to know that person well enough that you know that you can get to something that will just make you, you know, kind of make you swoon, right? Like, oh, they really do know
Exactly.
me. They love me.
Exactly. It's all about being thoughtful, not just, buy any gifts.
Right. So my question to you, just either is it a pandemic thing or is it an age thing? I've noticed a lot of younger people, when I say younger people, let's say under 30, who are in the dating world, or even like kids who are starting off dating that are like perhaps 13, 14, 15. It's just way different than it was when my generation and certainly the previous generation where people, you know, went on dates, you know, like old fashioned, pick them up at the door, walk up to the door, you know, knock on it, meet the parents, shake the hands. even to the mid 20 somethings where it's just so different. I think a lot of people probably do a Zoom call before they actually go on an actual date because they made that connection perhaps over social media.
You're right. That is very common. Actually, for all my clients or just my students, I recommend them doing FaceTime date before they go on a physical date with someone, since some people can be quite deceiving online. You
Yeah,
want to
that's the big worry, right?
Yeah, it is. Catfishing is a huge industry. So I'd always recommend a couple of FaceTime dates first before you even go meet this person to make it worthwhile.
So when you are doing these FaceTime dates, is there things that you should, just so you know, maybe you're on the right path, or maybe perhaps you might be on the wrong path with, like you were talking about catfishing. Are there things people should look out for outside of the love languages about that's almost for people who are already in relationships and really making that step forward or rekindling old ones. But for people maybe where this might be a first date scenario, what should they be looking out for, in terms of with the catfishing you were talking about?
Yeah, when you go on FaceTime dates, you want to look out, I think mainly two things. One is, do they have similar relationship goals to you? It's 2023. There's no
Mhm.
need to, lie and deceive to each other about what we really want currently in a relationship. If you want casual, short term, no fuss, that's fine. If you want to get married in 3 years, that's okay too. And I think it's time for all of us to move forward with honesty so that we all get things we really want. And I think that's the first thing, is communicating your preferences and how you want to proceed, and asking their preferences. The second thing about catfishing is you want to ask them some personal information that's only to almost like cross-reference with the stuff that they have said before in chat. Because sometimes, for
Oh,
example, one of my clients, was talking to this guy for a while on text, and he was telling her about, like, oh, he loves surfing. He's been surfing multiple times. He has this kind of board. And then when they were FaceTiming talking, he was like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm going surfing for the first time tomorrow.
red flag.
Because I'm going to Costa Rica. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not good. if there's if there's a discrepancy between how they text and what they talk about, I think there's a much deeper issue. And I don't even know if you want to give it, an opportunity in this sense, because we're all adults.
Right. And you definitely want to find somebody where eventually you could get to the five love languages, correct?
Exactly. I think we all want love and deserve love. And if there is any kind of red flag or lack of compatibility, that's like a huge lack of compatibility up front, I think it's a good sign to take a dip.
Yeah, it's funny that talking about love and everything else, and I've been out of the dating pool. I recently married, but I went through a stretch where it was,
Congratulations.
thank you. I went through a stretch where it was really tough for a long time, and somebody told me something, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to get it right on the first try, but maybe you've heard it before. But we accept the love that we think we deserve, and you have to really believe that you deserve great love, right? You don't deserve to be treated like garbage, right? You don't deserve to be treated like crap or have people ghost you or gaslight you or any of that stuff. And once I really shifted my mind to that thinking, you accept the love that you deserve, and in your heart you deserve to be treated well with respect and kindness and those five love languages. Then it just turns around and it almost like things open up for you, and it just makes it so much more pleasurable and easy to navigate.
100%. I mean, I love that saying, and it's so, so true. I mean, there's no truer words. You do deserve the love that you give, right? So if you're someone who's still working on yourself, and you have, lower self-esteem, and you don't think you deserve good treatment, kind words, attentive partner, then there's also something to be said about like self-development, right? Working on
Right.
yourself and feeling a little bit more confident and higher self-esteem first. And then when you go on dates, and you will kind of almost like naturally know, oh, this is
Yeah.
not the right person for me,
And you
or
know, like, oh,
oh,
sometimes in the first like 2 minutes, you're like, oh no, I know you're not going to be good for me.
oh
Like I've had
yeah.
that happen where I'm like, how am I going to make this now not seem rude that I want to get out of this in like 30 minutes?
Oh, research shows we know and we can evaluate if this person is right for us in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I believe that to be true because I had many dates where I'm like, yep, this is not right. You know, like this is not what was
Exactly.
online is in person.
No, no, and we're humans. Humans are smart. Like, we have evolved to now, and we definitely know what's not good for us.
Absolutely. Oh, Dr. Tara, I appreciate all that you have just shared with me and had a little just nice conversation. It's fun, and I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And I hope everybody watching this will also have a wonderful Valentine's Day, either first date or their 50th, or maybe perhaps their 20th wedding anniversary, right?
Love that. Well, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and where can people find you if they want to find the Luvbites platform and social medias and all that stuff?
Yes, my website is lovebites.co. That's LUVBITES.co.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Tara, I appreciate it and have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for
Thank you,
talking with me.
Tom.